Topic 4 is titled Applications, Effectiveness, and Ethical Considerations in Psychotherapy. Evidence-based practice, research outcomes, and professional ethics. By the end of this lesson, you will have a clear picture of what the research tells us about psychotherapy's effectiveness, which approach work best for which conditions, and the non-negotiable ethical standards that governs the profession. Psychotherapy is applied across an extraordinary wide range of conditions. For depression, CBT and IPT achieve 50 to 60 remission, comparable to antidepressants with long-lasting effects. For anxiety disorders, CBT achieves over 80% response for phobias and 60 to 70 for generalized anxiety. For PTSD, EMDR, CPT, and prolonged exposure reduce symptoms by 50 to 80% in controlled trials. For OCD, exposure and response prevention is the gold standard with 60 to 80% improvement. For eating disorders, CBT achieves 45% remission in bulimia. For personality disorders, DBT reduces self-harm by 50%, and for substance use, motivation interviewing double abstinence rates versus no treatment. The evidence is compelling across virtually every major psychological condition. The evidence base for psychotherapy is one of the most robust in all of medicine. The average effect size of psychotherapy versus no treatment is approximately 0.80, equivalent to moving from the 50th to the 79th percentile in functioning. 75% of people who engage in evidence-based psychotherapy shows measurable improvement. Over 580 meta-analyses have been published examining psychotherapy's effectiveness, and CBT reduces relapse rates in depression by approximately 40% compared to medication alone. These figures are not theoretical, they represent real improvements in real people's lives. Psychotherapy is not just effective, it is among the most thoroughly validated interventions in all of the healthcare. CBT has the largest and most robust evidence base of any psychotherapy modality. For major depression, CBT is equivalent to antidepressants and superior in preventing relapse. For generalized anxiety, response rates are 50 to 70% with gains maintained at 1 year follow-up. For panic disorder, 80 to 90% of clients are panic-free at treatment completion. For social anxiety, CBT with exposure including video feedback and cognitive restructuring is most effective. For bulimia, CBT enhanced achieves 45% full recovery and is the recognized first-line psychological treatment. And for insomnia, CBT is now recommended over sleep medication as first-line treatment with superior long-term outcomes and no side effects. CBT's structured skill-building approach makes it highly teachable, scalable, and evidence-driven. EMDR, developed by Francis Cefario in 1987, is an 8-phase structured therapy using bilateral stimulation, eye movements, taps, or tones to process traumatic memories. It is endorsed by the WHO, APA, and NICE as a first-line PTSD treatment. The 8 phases are history taking and treatment planning, preparation, building resources and safety, assessment, activating the target memory along with a negative and a positive cognition, emotions, body sensations, and distress ratings, desensitization, bilateral stimulation while holding the trauma memory, allowing free associations, installation, strengthening the positive cognition, body scan, checking for residual tension, closure, safety ending, incomplete sessions, and revaluation, reviewing progress across sessions. EMDR works rapidly and is particularly powerful for single incident trauma. Dialectical behavior therapy developed by Marsha Lynchen was the first therapy proven effective for borderline personality disorder and is now widely accepted to emotion regulation, self-harm, eating disorder, and adolescent presentations. CBT is a comprehensive treatment delivered through four components: individual therapy, addressing a priority hierarchy of life-threatening therapy interfering and quality of life behaviors, skills training groups, teaching mindfulness and distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. Phone coaching, allowing real time application of skills to crisis, and a consultation team for therapists, which uniquely treats the treatment team itself. Evidence DBT reduces suicide attempts and self-harm by 50%, mean 50% of clients no longer meet BPD criteria at 1 year and significantly reduces psychiatric hospitalization. Psychotherapy is not one size fits all. Effectiveness varies across age, cultures, and social contexts. For children and adolescents, effective size range from 0.54 to 0.60, with family involvement significantly improving outcomes. For older adults, CBT and psychodynamic therapies are equally effective for late life depression, with adaptations for cohort values and cognitive changes. For diverse ethnic groups, culturally adapted therapies show 4 times greater effect than unupdated versions. For those with low socioeconomic status, stepped care models and brief interventions achieve significant impact while addressing cost and access barriers. For LGBTQ plus populations, affirmative therapy approaches grounded in the minority stress model are essential. And for trauma survivors, phased treatment, stabilization before processing is critical for complex PTSD. Psychotherapy operates within a comprehensive ethical framework built on 6 fundamental principles. Beneficence means actively promoting the client's well being and applying evidence based treatments. Non maleficence means first, do not harm, protect clients from exploitations, dual relationships, and unsupported interventions. Autonomy means respecting the client's right to self determination and informed consent. Justice means treating all clients with fairness and advocating for equitable access to mental health care. Fidelity and integrity means being honest, reliable, and trustworthy in all aspects of therapeutic relationship. And confidentiality means protecting all information shared in therapy with mandatory exceptions only for imminent risk of harm, child abuse, and court orders. These principles are not guidelines, they are the profession's moral foundation. Informed consent and confidentiality are the ethical and legal bedrock of the therapeutic relationship. Informed consent must include the nature of the therapeutic process and approach, the therapist's qualifications, the risks, benefits, and alternatives, clearly explained limits of confidentiality, fee structure, and cancellation policy. Crisis procedures, the client's right to withdraw consent at any time, and record keeping practices. Confidentiality has 4 mandatory exceptions: imminent danger to self, where the therapist must act to protect clients; danger to third parties, where the terrace of duty to warn applies; child or elder abuse, which must be reported in all jurisdictions; and court orders, which legally compelled disclosure. In each case, therapists must balance clients' privacy with public safety and always document their reasoning carefully. Therapists routinely face complex ethical situations without clear-cut answers. Dual relationship arises when a therapist has a pre-existing personal or social connection with the client. They must be avoided whenever possible and documented carefully when unavoidable. Therapist self-disclosure must be therapeutically intentional, shared only when it benefits the client, never to meet the therapist's own needs. Boundary crossings, minor departures from standard rules, such as accepting small gifts, must be distinguished from violations and evaluated for clinical meaning. Competence limits require therapists to recognize when a client's needs exceed their expertise, seek supervision, and refer appropriately. And social media raises new challenges. Therapists must establish clear digital boundaries in informed consent and never research clients online except in genuine safety emergencies. Technology is transforming how psychotherapy is delivered. Teletherapy via video has been confirmed as equivalent to in person therapy by multiple meta analyses, removing geographic and mobility barriers globally. Over 3 lakh mental health apps are now available. CBT based apps show promising results as adjuncts for mild to moderate anxiety and depression. AI assisted therapy is emerging through it raises profound ethical questions about safety, accountability, and the irreplaceable human therapeutic alliance. Virtual reality therapy is highly effective for phobias, PTSD, and social anxiety, allowing controlled exposure to feared stimuli in clinically safe environments. Digital biomarkers tracking typing speed, movement, and sleep patterns via smartphone may enable real time monitoring of mental health. And stepped care digital models maximize reach by using apps as the first step, reserving human therapists for complex cases. Cultural competence is not an optional addition to good therapy, it is integral to it. Culture shapes how distress is experienced, expressed, and healed. The DSM 5 Cultural Formulation Interview provides a structured tool for assessing cultural identity, explanatory models of distress, and cultural factors affecting help seeking. Culture bound syndrome such requires cultural knowledge for accurate assessment. Western therapy emphasis on individual autonomy may conflict with collectivist cultural values requiring family-centered adaptations. Mental health stigma and distrust of mental health systems create significant barriers in many communities. Intersectionality, the combined effects of race, gender, class, sexuality, disability, and religion shapes unique experiences of marginalization that must be addressed in therapy. And all of this begin with the therapist's own cultural self-awareness and ongoing self-reflection. Therapists who regularly absorb clients' emotional pain are at significant risk of burnout, compassion fatigue, and secondary traumatic stress. Burnout manifests as cynicism, depersonalization, and reduced efficacy addressed through work restructuring, supervision, and boundary setting. Compassion fatigue comes from vicarious exposure to client suffering, producing intrusive images and hypervigilance, requiring trauma informed self care and personal therapy. Secondary traumatic stress produces PTSD like symptoms from secondary trauma exposure, but importantly, There is also vicarious resilience, positive transformation from witnessing clients' courage and recovery, actively cultivated. This provides meaning, hope, and perspective. Self care is not a luxury, it is an ethical obligation to clients. A therapist who is depleted cannot provide safe, effective care. Psychotherapy stands at an extraordinary moment of transformation. Precision psychiatry aims to use biomarkers and neuroimaging to predict which therapy will work for which individual, moving beyond trial and error. Transdiagnostic approaches like Barlow's unified protocol address shared emotional process across multiple disorders, more efficient than separate disorder specific treatments. Process based therapy targets core psychological processes, cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation rather than specific diagnosis. Global mental health scale up is training teachers and community workers in low income settings to deliver evidence based interventions. Neuroscience integration is bringing neurofeedback and pharmacotherapy assisted therapy such as ketamine and MDMA for PTSD into legitimate clinical use. And third wave therapies, ACT, compassion focused therapy, positive psychology are expanding the conceptual and practical range of the field. To close our psychotherapy module, psychotherapy is extraordinarily effective with effect sizes revealing or exceeding medication and superior long-term outcomes for most psychological conditions. Evidence-based modalities CBT, EMDR, DBT, EFT have robust replicable research support across diverse populations and presentations. Ethical practice grounded in beneficence, autonomy, confidentiality, and justice is the non-negotiable foundation of every therapeutic encounter. Cultural competence is not an add-on, it is integral to accurate formulation and effective interventions. Technology is expanding access but raises profound ethical questions about aliens, safety, accountability, and equality. And the future of psychotherapy lies in greater precision, integration, and global accessibility, honoring both the science of change and the irreplaceable healing power of the human relationship. Thank you for joining us on this journey through psychotherapy. Thank you.